You're listening to Winnipeg's Classic 107. My name is Simon Rusnak. It's the first Friday in the month of December, and that means it's time for our What to Read feature with McNally Robinson's Chris Hall and Kai Bergen. They've both joined me from the store. Hello.
Hello, Simon.
Well, it's great to have you both here. Holiday madness in the times of Code Red closures. Chris, I want to start with you. I mean, there's been a big push in the support local notion this year. What has that meant for you and everyone at McNally?
Well, we're getting a huge surge of support. There's no doubt. Unfortunately, we're just not made to serve customers this way. And so our online is overwhelmed. Our phone lines, it's like winning the sweepstakes to get a hold of us. And yeah, we're just coping. We're trying to do as many orders as we possibly can, but it's going to take a lot of patience from our customers to see us through.
Yeah, I'm sure people can sympathize with that. You guys aren't Amazon. It's a local store, and that really changes things, doesn't it?
It does. It absolutely does. We're not Amazon, and that's a great thing. But usually what that means is you get to come into a real place and explore for yourselves the books. And that's our strength, and that's all been taken away from us. So our strength is not online sales, and yet that's what we have. So we are working frantically. We were described as elves in Santa's workshop. So I'm carrying that image with us.
It really does paint the picture. So one other thing that I do want to mention in terms of the idea of supporting local is that, as you are in Winnipeg, one thing that comes to mind is Andrew Taves of Photo Central, who sponsors the morning show, was on just a few days ago. And he was talking about how even though he's here in Winnipeg and seeing that same support local feeling and sentiment, there's still been trouble getting the actual product to Winnipeg for you from suppliers, right? Because there's issues with supply chain and everything like that. I imagine it's the same with publishers.
Absolutely. I have never seen so many books needing to be reprinted, but waiting. They're out of stock and waiting. And so we can't bring them in until they get reprinted, which is likely into the new year. That's all COVID related. The warehouses we're ordering from, they're all in the US primarily. But even when they're not, they've got their own slowdowns because of COVID. And so it takes longer for them to process orders. And then we have shipping, which is everything's on the shipping systems. And that is not used to coping with this level of ordering. So everything is stretched. And what is it, the 4th of December this morning?
It is. Friendly reminder. I know the elves are busy in the workshop leading up to that holiday push. And again, when you head to the McNally website, as I'm sure many people are doing, you'll see it right on the homepage. Please note this is a holiday season like no other we have faced, and I'm sure that's putting it mildly. So let's get to the books that I hope are in stock at least for the next, 10 minutes, I'm sure, as things are flying off the shelves. Kai, I want to welcome you to the microphone. You've got some kids picks, and I'd like to start off by asking about the latest Dogman and Cat Kid, not series that I've read, but I immediately recognize the covers of these books, the layout, the font, the illustration. Is this the same author as Captain Underpants?
It absolutely is, yeah. Good eye.
Oh, be still my beating 8-year-old heart. Tell us a little bit about these picks.
Okay, so Cat Kid Comic Club is the newest installment in the Dogman franchise, which, with no exaggeration, is maybe the largest kids' books series that I've seen since I've been working in it. It's huge. So Cat Kid Comic Club is a bit of a departure in that it is not only comics and stories, but also it teaches you to make your own comics.
Wow. Something that I think we can definitely be doing at home. This is Dave Pilkey. Is that how you say the author's name?
Honestly, I don't know. I say it like Dav, but
yeah.
I don't think it's right.
Well, we're not sure, but I mean, again, this just brings back my childhood, and I'm sure great picks. Like you say, a huge franchise. So I'm sure many parents are familiar, many younger listeners are perhaps familiar. What else do you have to suggest this year?
So the other pick that I have today is called Wreck This Picture Book, How to Make a Book Come to Life by Carrie Smith, who you may remember from the viral hit Wreck This Journal.
So tell us a little bit about it. I was reading about it myself, and it sounds like it's a book that changes each time you read it. How does that happen?
Well, this is an interactive picture book. So if you open it up, it tells you on different pages different ways that you can interact with the book. So basically, this book is about breaking all the book rules. You can fold the pages, you can make music with it, you can take it with you places, you can shake it to wake it up.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds great. I was going to say, it sounds like, if anybody has any sort of frustrations, I don't know if that book is kind of kicking around the back of McNally as things are a little frantic. It sounds like you can work things out through the book. It sounds like a great couple of picks and two great stocking stuffers, right?
Yeah, I would say these are perfect stocking stuffers. But for Wreck This Picture Book, you might need a large stocking to fit it in.
Two great picks. Chris, can I get you to swing on over back to the microphone as we practice some social distancing? Where would you like to start with your picks?
Well, I'm going to go with one of McNally Robinson's favorites, Alan Doyle, the singer, songwriter. His new book is called All Together Now. He's been here a couple of times. I've chatted with him in the back. I think he's a compulsive storyteller. I guess the word would be natural storyteller, but stories just flow out of him. It's unbelievable. And so he's lending his talents to this new book, which is directly, its subtitle is A Newfoundlander's Light Tales for Heavy Times. He's addressing these times. And so he just goes through his treasure trove of stories. He talks about growing up in what he misses the most, I think, is what how he puts it, the pubs in his native Newfoundland, where in order to get your story started, you have to be like an Olympic sprinter on the starting blocks, because somebody's halfway through theirs before you can get a word in. So that's where his training has come from. I think I described Jan Arden's book last month as a great book for a Saturday afternoon with a cup of coffee. With Alan Doyle, you might need to grab a glass of beer, but a great companion, I think, for to calm down, I think, in these times.
Yeah, maybe put on some Great Big Sea while you're listening, while you're reading. I mean, great pick. You say a McNally Robinson favorite. I think a national favorite, Alan Doyle. So from the national to the local, you've got a couple of distinctly Manitoban picks, and one of which I think recently just had a virtual launch, right?
Yes. The lesser known, Darren Bernhardt is the author. So yeah, that was it Tuesday? I can't remember what day today is, but the subtitle of this one is A History of Oddities from the Heart of the Continent. So they are Winnipeg stories, lesser known Winnipeg stories. You may not have ever heard of these. So he's digging through the archives. There's great old photos in here. He talks about the rise and fall of the Tin Can Cathedral, the highway that once connected Confusion Corner with Bourbon Street. I didn't know there was a Bourbon Street.
I didn't either. I'm just shaking my head over here. Wow.
That's right. Apparently there was a notorious bank robber who played a Depression-era mini golf craze in town. So that's apparently a crazy story they were talking about at the event the other night. So it's told with a very conversational tone, great old photos, stories that'll make you look at Winnipeg a different way.
Yeah, I love these books. I mean, like I'm a born and raised Winnipegger, and there's so much to discover about this city. And it sounds like one of those books that's just, well, like the title says, it's filled with those lesser known oddities, things that we don't know. Those little nuggets, those little treasures continue in your other suggestion, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Good segue.
Yeah,
Treasures of Winnipeg's Historic Exchange by George J. Mitchell. Now, I should disclose that I haven't seen this book yet. We were just talking about printing issues. This publisher, a small Canadian publisher, is having trouble getting the attention of the printer who said they would print the book. So we are still hopeful. There's an event scheduled later, or next week, I guess. And but when the book comes, we will find out. But it will come, and it's going to be beautiful. It's full of great new photos of a historic area of Winnipeg, the great old buildings, the details of those buildings. I look forward to seeing it. I think it's going to be a great coffee table book for flipping through and going for a walk in your armchair, I guess.
Yeah, again, I'm a total sucker for those. I love collecting them. I love just over my shoulder. There's Retropeg, and there's the North End with John Paskovich, and this just sounds like another one to add to the collection. They both really do. Two fantastic picks, and of course, we started off the conversation by talking about the challenges that are being faced, and just this surge in support. I do want to take a moment to wish both of you the best of the season, hoping that you can find some reprieve, and wishing for a more straight ahead, a more square 2021.
Let's hope so. Yeah, I would love to invite people back in. I'm really hopeful that early in 2021 we can. I'm encouraging people to buy gift cards. They're the easiest for us to for us to sell. We never run out of stock of them. That's a fantastic way to support us. And then you're giving somebody out there a chance to come in when they can. They can use them online too if they like, but to come in when we get back to normal. And yeah, it's going to feel like a party in here.
I'm sure it will. Kai, Chris, thanks so much for the suggestions.
Thanks, Simon.
Thanks, Simon.
Of course, you can find the What to Read picks up online. I'm sure you'll be looking at it with so many other people at McNallyRobinson.com.